Yahweh Shah, he's the Lord. And he's coming back from Babylon the Great. This is second Ezra chapter 13. Right? And that's what he's right?
The Lord is his name.
The Bible says,
the Lord is his name.
The Lord, how about Yahweh Shah is his name? Right? You got batteries, man?
They went out?
Yeah.
They got door seal?
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 13, verse 3.
Take it out.
It reads, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong. That man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven.
That man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. That man is talking about Yahweh Shah. Right? Who are the thousands of heaven? The angels that's coming back in the chariots. Read on.
And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Right? All the things trembled that were seen under him. Right? All the nations of the earth, they're going to tremble in the day of the Lord. When they see Yahweh Shah crack them clouds, with his might, with an angelic force, right? They're going to be petrified in that day. Read on.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth,
right? Y'all got to repent and keep the commandments, or y'all get destroyed by the Lord.
That's right.
Right? The Most High not playing games, stiff-necked niggas, man. Bring it out.
All they burned that heard his voice.
All they that what?
Burned that heard his voice.
Right, because that's what the Lord is coming back with. He's coming back with fire and vengeance to burn up the wicked and ungodly of the earth. Read on.
Like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire.
Read on.
And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men,
right?
out of number, from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the men that came out of the sea.
This is going into the battle of Armageddon, man. Right? Because all the nations, they're going to turn when they fighting amongst each other, and they're going to try to fight the Lord when he come back. Read on.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain,
right?
And flew up upon it.
And that great mountain is talking about the chariot, man. Right? Because Yahweh Shah is coming back with the so-called UFOs. Right? UFOs are documented in the Bible. Right? Let's break that down. Give me 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 11. All right? Give me Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 4. Bring that out, okay?
2 Kings 2 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot.
A what?
A chariot.
A what?
A chariot.
A chariot, a so-called UFO. Right? Also known as clouds in the Bible. You read Psalm chapter 104, verse 3. Read on.
Of fire and horses of fire, and departed them both asunder.
Right? Read on.
And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel.
What?
The chariot of Israel.
Elijah went up by this whirlwind by the chariots of Israel.
It's not.
Right?
Right.
He was beamed up in a so-called UFO, man. Keep reading, brother.
And the horsemen thereof, and he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes.
Give me 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 15. All right?
Good breakdown, brother.
You know, 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 15. Right? And all so-called white people going to slavery according to the Bible.
Right.
Right? Right. God curse you. Right? Look it up.
2 Kings 6 and verse 15. And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth,
right?
Behold, an host compared the city, both with horses and chariots.
Read on.
And his servant.
And his what?
And his servant.
Read on.
Said unto him, alas.
Right, y'all sisters know y'all nationality according to the Bible.
We got spread out.
Right? What is it, sisters?
I'm a Hebrew.
Hebrew, right? Hebrew Israelite. Right? Y'all gotta wear dresses and skirts according to the Bible. Right? As Hebrew Israelite women.
That's right.
What the Lord commanded you in Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. Say it again, sister.
Hey, brother, you got 1 second?
Right? Well, if you believe in the Lord, you gotta take heed to the commandments. All right?
Somebody got to go back there. I'm gonna go down here.
2 Kings 6 and verse 15.
Right?
And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do?
Right?
And he answered, fear not,
Do what?
Fear not.
So we can't fear the devices of the so-called white man. When he come down with his military might, his martial law, we can't fear that. We got to stand bold in that day as it states in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Read on.
For they that be with us,
They that be with us, they that be with the Israelites, read on.
are more than they that be with them.
Right, because we got millions of hosts of angels protecting us and guiding us in that day, man.
That's right.
Give me the book of Revelation, chapter 5, verse 11. So we not scared of what the so-called white man has set up for us. Right? We just got to trust in the Lord.
man.
Bring it out.
Revelation 5 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
And I beheld, and I heard the voice of many angels
Right? Read on.
round about the throne, and the beast, and the elders, and the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000,
10,000 times 10,000. Read on.
and thousands of thousands.
And thousands of thousands, man. Right? So that's an innumerable multitude. Read on.
Saying with a loud voice, worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power.
Right, so the point is, man, we got more angels protecting us than on our side, man.
Just in the Old Testament, I believe it.
Hey, you gotta repent or be destroyed by Yahweh, man.
That's
Straight
right.
up, man. The Lord comes in the volume of the book. Give me the book of Hebrews, chapter 10 and verse 7. Man.
Hebrews
Right?
10
Stop
and
talking.
verse 7.
Right?
They some idiots, man.
Yeah. Get the hell out of here. Give me Hebrews.
I can't stand Israel.
Man.
And it reads,
What you saying that walking the way? Hey, come deal with the Bible.
She gonna say the New Testament.
Hebrews 10 and verse 7.
Right?
Then said I, lo,
Right? All so-called white people going to slavery according to the Bible. Right? Yeah, come deal with the Bible. You don't want to deal with it. Bring it out.
then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book.
Right, so the Lord said he comes in a volume of the book from Genesis to Revelation.
That's right.
Right, the Old Testament and the New Testament. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 21. Right, because Paul was quoting the book of Isaiah documented in the Old
She's
Testament.
still yelling this shit.
She out her shit.
Right, 1 Corinthians 14 and 21.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 21.
Right, give me Luke chapter 24 and verse 44.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 21.
Bring it out.
Reads, in the law it is written.
In the what?
In the law it is written.
In the what?
In the law it is written.
Right, so Paul was quoting the law found in the Old Testament. Read on.
With men of other tongues and other lips will I speak unto this people.
That's right. So he was quoting the book of Isaiah chapter 28, verse 11. Right, so he was quoting prophet Isaiah in the New Testament, right? So the Lord is dealing with both the old and the new. He said he comes in the volume of the book. Give me Psalms 40 and 7. Bring that out, guys.
This is the book of Luke 24 and verse 44.
Bring it out.
And he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you
Right, so this is Christ speaking to his disciples. Read on.
while I was yet with you,
Read on.
that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses.
In the what?
In the law of Moses.
In the what?
In the law of
In
Moses.
the law of Moses found in the Old Testament. Read on.
And in the prophets.
And in the prophets, right? Daniel, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. Read on.
And in the Psalms concerning me.
And in the Psalms concerning the Lord, man. Right? So, hey, even the Lord acknowledged the Old Testament. Right? So, why is it today that Christians say, oh, we don't deal with the Old Testament? We don't deal with that too. Right? That's you being partial to the law.
Do want to bring out that Psalms 23 though. The Lord is my shepherd.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 40, verse 7. It reads, then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book.
Right? So, that's playing upon tables. Christ said, I come in the volume of the book.
It is written of me.
It is what?
It is written of me.
Right, so the most Salaki, Yahweh Shah, he is the word. Right. The whole word, Genesis to Revelation, is written of him. Right, bring it up.
I gotta this is the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 3. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard.
Right.
I have both sides, but my only thing, the only thing,
Salaki, y'all want to bring her up here?
no, is that every
Right. Get out of here, man. See, Israel, man. They think this a damn joke, man. Right? And they think this a damn joke, and the Most High is not playing, man.
It's not.
That's why when the Most High start bringing out judgment on you two-thirds, we not going to cry, we not going to lament, we going to rejoice. Give me Jeremiah chapter 16. At all.
Jeremiah 16 and verse 4.
Right?
They shall die a grievous death.
What the Bible say?
They shall die a grievous
So
death.
if she don't repent, she's going to die of a grievous death. Read on.
They shall not be
They
lamented,
shall not be lamented, meaning cried over. Right? Read on.
neither shall they be buried.
Neither shall they be buried, man. And that's painful, man. You don't receive no burial. Your body just laid out here on the streets for the vultures to devour you. And that's what's going to happen to 2/3 in the day of Jacob's trouble. Read on.
But they shall be as dung
They shall be as shit. That's what dung is. Read on.
upon the face of the earth,
Right? Read on.
and they shall be consumed by the
They
sword.
shall be consumed, meaning devoured by the sword.
Shalom, shalom.
All right. So you Israelites, you better repent, keep these commandments. Right? You better stop making light of this marriage. Right? Give me Matthew chapter 25, verse 10. Give me Luke chapter 19, verse 13. Right? Right? And all so-called white people going to slavery. All right?
That's right.
That's according to the Lord. All right? Bring it out.
Matthew 25 and verse number 10.
25. Yep.
And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came.
Bridegroom came. Yahweh Shah, he's the bridegroom. We read John chapter 3, verse 29. Read on.
And they that were ready went in with him.
Hey, we trying to make Israel ready for this marriage. How do you make yourself ready? By repenting, by praying, fasting, keeping these commandments, right? And meditating on the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. Reading this Bible, Revelation chapter 1, verse 3, Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16. Right? That's how you make yourself ready for the marriage. Read on.
Went in with him to the marriage. And the door was shut.
And the what?
And the door was shut.
Right, so it's going to come a time on the earth in which the door is going to be shut. And that's going into the famine of the word, man. Give me the book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. Right? 19.
Amos 8 and verse 11.
Right?
Behold, the days come,
Behold, the days come. Right? The days are coming on the earth. Read on.
saith the Lord
Saith
God, saith the Lord Yahweh,
Saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Read on.
that I will send a famine in the
The
land.
Lord is going to send a famine in the land. Right? What's a famine? A famine is a lack of food and water. Right? What's the food and water that you need? The word of the Lord. Right? This is the food, this is the bread that you live on. Read on.
But a famine of bread, nor of thirst for water,
Right?
but of hearing.
But of what?
But of hearing
What up
It
here?
says
Read
law.
the
on.
words of the
Hey,
Lord.
brother, you know your nationality according to the Bible?
I have it like that.
It's not
Yeah.
work. Right?
Well, like
Nobody
this.
want to know their nationality.
But it ain't gonna stretch out.
And that's why our people destroy
Oh, I got it, I got it.
slavery under the so-called white man. Right?
I got
You
it.
don't inquire of who you are according to the Bible.
There we go.
So when the Lord brings swift judgment upon you,
Come on, step up, step up. It's gonna be in the walkway.
you can't say you didn't know your nationality. You can't say I didn't know what commandments to keep. The Lord got the prophets out here teaching. Bring it out.
Verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord.
That's right. They're going to run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord. Right? They're going to go from the north even to the south. Right? Trying to find out, hey man, what that Bible say? What those Israelites was talking about out there on the street corners looking like bombs. Right? That's when they're going to inquire of the word of the Lord. Right? That's when this word is going to be made like gold and precious in that day. Bring it out.
And shall not find it.
Right? And shall what?
And shall not
You're
find
not
it.
going to find it, man. Read on.
And that day shall the fair virgin and the young man.
What's your nationality? Right? That's Elam. Right? That's Elam, man. Come here to Bible, brother. Hey, brother, what's your nationality, brother? Hey, come look at this sign right here, brother. Right? Come look at this sign right here. You see yourself on that sign, brother? Where you see yourself at? Judah. So you're an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, God's chosen people. Right? Give me the book of Exodus chapter 19, verse 6. I'm gonna show you something about the Bible, brother, because the Bible is so-called black history. Right? Bring me Sirach chapter 24, verse 23.
Bring it out.
Right? 5 minutes, brother. That's all it takes. Bring it out.
Sirach 24 at verse 23.
Bring it out.
All these things are the book of the covenant
All these things are the book of the covenant. Read on.
of the Most High God,
Of the Most High God, whose name is Yahweh. Read on.
even the law which Moses commanded for inheritance unto the congregations of Jacob.
Right, so these laws, statutes, and commandments is the heritage. Did you know that? How did so-called black people get to America? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 6. No. By ships, right? Give me Nahum chapter 3, verse 10. Right? That's actually documented in the Bible. Right? The Lord said the Israelites break my commandments. As a curse, I'm going to bring them to the land of their enemies on slave ships. And that's what happened to our people. Right? Judah all the way down to Naphtali, we was cursed in the cities, in the field, and we was brought over here on slave ships. To be subject to payments and to be oppressed by the so-called white.
Light it. Just put it back up there.
All right, now bring it out. We're going to prove it to you.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 at verse 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt
Now,
again.
this is the curse. The Lord said, if you break my commandments, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt. You know what Egypt means? Yeah.
How you doing, bro?
Because the Lord said, if you break my commandments as a nation of people, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt. Do you know what the Israelites were doing in Egypt? Exodus chapter 13, verse 3. I'm going to show you, brother. Right? Because the Israelites, they was doing one specific thing in Egypt, and that was working as slaves under Pharaoh and the Egyptians. Walk around. All right, so that's what Egypt means. Bring it up.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 13 and verse 3.
Right.
It reads, and Moses said unto the people, remember this day, in which he came out from Egypt,
Which he came out from Egypt. Read
out
on.
of the house of bondage.
What is Egypt?
Out of the house of
So
bondage.
Egypt is known as the house of bondage. What's another word for bondage? Slavery. Give me Micah chapter 6, verse 4. So Egypt means slavery, brother. But we're going to further prove that. You're not convinced. You're going to get another witness.
Right by your wife.
Micah chapter 6, verse 4.
Micah chapter 6 and verse 4.
Right?
And it reads, for I brought thee up out of the land of Egypt,
This is the Lord speaking to the Israelites. He said, I brought you out of the land of Egypt. Read on.
and redeemed thee out of the house of servants.
What is Egypt?
Out of the house of servants.
So Egypt is
Whoa.
also known as the house of servants, meaning the house of slaves.
That's a good
We
precept.
were slaves in Egypt, right? Working, slaving, building up those pyramids with Pharaoh and the Egyptians in the hot blazing sun, right? From sun up to sundown, brother. So go back to that Exodus, Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68.
Right?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt
And
again
into slavery, the house of bondage, or the house of captivity again. Read on.
with ships.
With what?
With ships.
With ships. How did so-called black people get to America?
Okay, you gotta be back up here.
Ships, right? How many people we have?
He's fishing.
Check it out right here, bro. With slave ships, man. So that happened to us as a nation of people. Read on.
By the way, whereof I spake unto thee,
It's for you too, brother. Read on.
thou shalt see it no more again.
You ever been back to your homeland, brother? No, right? The Lord said we would not see our homeland again as a nation of people. Read on.
And there ye shall be sold unto your
What
enemies.
people were we sold to when we got off those slave ships? What people were we sold to? Huh? Right? What were their nationality? Right. So-called white people, right? So the Lord called them our enemies. Okay, keep reading, brother.
For bondman and bondwoman,
Slave men and slave women, read on.
and no man shall buy you.
No man shall redeem you from that captivity that you in. That's why in 2021 we still in slavery, brother. We still got to work for the so-called white man, slave, pay taxes, right? We still being oppressed. They just pepper sprayed a lieutenant in Virginia, right? What happened to George Floyd? Then he get choked the hell out by Derek Chauvin, right? Then Trayvon Martin get shot down by George Zimmerman. What happened to Emmett Till? Right? Didn't he get beat to death? Right? So all these things happen to our people because we under the curses. And we must come back to the Lord so we can be protected from these things, brother. Give me Nahum 6.
Book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 10.
Right?
Yet was she carried away, she went into captivity.
Right, that she is talking about Israel.
Her
Read
young
on.
children also were dashed in
It
pieces.
said they dashed our young children to pieces, man. This is the part of slavery they don't want you to know about. They weren't telling you how they was taking your little infant babies and they was dashing them to pieces. Right down there in Florida, they was feeding our babies to alligators for alligator skin. Right, to make their leather, to make they crocodile shoes. They damn feeding us the sharks. They was doing all kind of abominations. See, this is the part of slavery they don't want you to know about. Right? Read on. There was more than us just picking cotton, brother. They was doing all kind of heinous things to our people. Raping our women. Right? What they'd do with the Native American woman, they would cut open their stomach, right? And take their baby out and put a cat in their stomach and sew their stomach back up. Right? So when the cat wake up, it'll rip her stomach out. That's what they was doing, man. Right? What else? What else we got? Check this out, man. The so-called white man, he gonna hunt blacks and Latinos and hang their heads up as souvenirs. See that? So all these things is happening in slavery, brother. Right? Getting lynched by the so-called white man, getting buck broke. They would actually rape men in slavery. Sodomized men. Right? See, this is the part of slavery they don't want you to know. I keep reading, brother. And this for you too, bro. You an Israelite. God showed you. Right? The Bible is so-called black history. This is the word. All right, bring it up.
And her young children also were dashed in pieces at the top of all the streets.
Right?
And they cast lots for her honorable men.
It said they cast lots for honorable men. Right? Casting lots is basically auctioning someone off. And that's what they did during the time of slavery. They auctioned us off. Right? 35, 45 souls. Right? Read on.
And all her great men were bound in chains.
And all her great men were bound in chains. Weren't we bound in chains during the time of slavery? Right? Then we have yokes bound upon our neck. That's actually a curse. Matter of fact, bring that one out. Deuteronomy 28:47. So who did this sound like, brother? What people did this happen to? So we reading about right now. So-called African Americans. Right? Because Africa comes from a man named Leo Scipio Africanus. He was a Roman general. Right? And America comes from a man named Amerigo Vespucci. He was an Italian map maker. Right? So how could we be African American? Those are the name of two white ones.
Right.
Okay, and we're not black either, because black is the color of this brother's Nike. Damn hood, brother, you got a second? Right? Black is the color of your sweat hands. When you check out our skin color, it's different shades of brown. Right? You got the East Indians, they get just as dark as us, but they don't walk around calling themselves black. Right? The Africans, they don't call themselves black. They say, look, I'm from Ghana, I'm from Sierra Leone, I'm from Somalia. Right? We the only people that do that because what? It's laws which don't do this. It's a life that doesn't know we got experience this. The greatest people on this planet Earth.
This is book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47.
Bring it out.
And it reads, because thou servest not the Lord thy God.
Because we didn't want to serve the Lord our God, whose name is Yahweh. Read on.
With joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
And the Lord could have gave us all things. Right? He gave us water out of a rock. He gave us bread out of the heavens. Read on.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies. Now we got to serve our enemies, the so-called white man, the African man. Right? Those are Hamites, man. Right? You can tell by their spirit.
Yeah.
By the way they walk, by the way they talk, by the way they treat us, man. Right? They come over here, they don't hire your people, man. Right? A lot of these Hamites are rich as hell, man. You think they're gonna give you money and liberate your people on an economic level?
They know the difference.
Actually, they actually sold us to the so-called white man.
That's right.
You can read about that in Joel the 3rd chapter. Right? The Africans and the Arabs got together and sold us to the so-called white man
right.
during the transatlantic slave trade.
Right.
Right? That's real history. Bring it up.
They didn't sell their own.
Right. It wasn't blacks selling blacks. It was Africans selling Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
Okay, read on.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 44.
Right.
And it reads, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, and hunger,
And what?
and hunger.
So when y'all hungry, what food places do y'all go to? Or grocery stores? Supermarket, Target, Walmart. Owned by who? Owned by the so-called white man. So when you hungry, you gotta go outside of your nation for your food sources. Right? Read on.
And in thirst.
And in thirst, same thing with water. You want your Pepsi, your Coca-Cola, your Sprite, right? Read on.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness, the clothing on y'all back. Is Nike owned by a so-called black man? We the most people that wear it, right? We the ones that rock the Nike, the Levi's, the Reeboks, the Gucci, the Fendi. We make everything look good, but it's not owned by our people. That's a damn shame, man. Bring it up.
And in one of all things.
And in one of all things, you want a birth certificate, a license, a registration, a social security, a passport. What people you gotta go to? Your enemy, right? The so-called white man. Let's see you try to cross that water and go to Canada right? Right? You're going down and have helicopters all over you. They're going to choke you up and they might put you to death. You better have that ID or that passport, man. Right? Read on.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And he shall what?
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And they say a picture speaks 1,000 words. Right? He shall put a yoke of iron upon our neck. What people did that happen to? So-called black man. I say so-called because again, black is just a color.
Right.
So-called African Americans. Right? So-called Negro. Those are all bow words that was also placed on us. Right? For breaking the commandments of the Lord. The Lord said, if you wanna go off and follow the customs of the heathen, I'm gonna make the heathen call you a bow word. They're not even gonna acknowledge you to be the chosen people. Right? You got people over there in Israel calling themselves after your nationality. They call themselves Jewish. Why they say ish? Ish is a suffix meaning pertaining to. So they trying to be like a Jew. You are the real Jews, right?
Right.
Right. You come from the tribe of Judah of the nation of Israel. Keep reading, brother.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Until he have what?
Until he have destroyed thee.
Until he have destroyed you. So now we destroyed as a people, mentally, physically, on a spiritual level. We up in these Christian churches, and these Christian churches line down people for money. Right? So give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 25.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 25.
Right.
It reads, the Lord
Zechariah
shall
11.
cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies.
What does the word smitten mean? Strike down. Or killed. Murdered. The Lord said, I will cause you to be killed and murdered before your enemies. Read on.
Thou shalt go out one way against them.
Thou shalt go out one way against them. Read on.
And flee 7 ways before them.
And flee 7 ways before them. Right? So that's also a curse that happened to our people. We've been killed and shot down by our enemies. Right? Now bring this up. Zechariah 11 and 5.
Zechariah 11 and verse 5.
Now, let me say this. Who's the main people killing us to this day? Right? That's true, but that's a curse of the Bible. Right? But what other people outside of our nation is killing us? White man. So-called white man. All right, then bring this up.
Zechariah 11 and verse
So
5.
this is Zechariah chapter 11, verse 5. Bring it up.
Whose possessors slay them.
Salaki, read it again.
Whose possessors slay them.
Our possessors, those that own us, slay us. Read on.
And hold themselves not
And
guilty.
they always hold themselves not guilty. What is Derek Chauvin doing right now? Isn't he holding himself not guilty? That's why he's taking it to trial. Right? So our possessors, they murder us, but they hold themselves not guilty. That's right. Read on.
And they that sell them say, blessed be the
And
Lord.
those that sold us say, blessed be the Lord. They say this is a so-called Christian country, right? But it was built off slavery. Right? So they put us in slavery in the name of Christianity. Read on.
For I am rich,
They say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. Read on.
and their own
Our
shepherds
own shepherds, our political leaders. Read on.
pity them not.
Who is our leaders today? Do you know? Right. And that's a shame. Right? The so-called white man, he knows his leaders. Right? Joe Biden. Okay. Kamala Harris. Right? They know they leaders, but when it comes to us, we don't know who our leaders are. Who? See that? Keep reading, brother. They own shepherds because, right, Vladimir. Right? Those are the white man's leaders. Right? Who's our leaders? Howard Shah.
That's right.
The Most High. Right? The prophets. Right? Give me 2nd Chronicles chapter 28, verse 28. 28.
Look at 2nd Chronicles, chapter 28, and verse 28.
One.
Matter of fact, drop it. Let's go straight into some commandments. Hey, so what's y'all nationality? We just broke it down, thus saith the Lord. What's y'all nationality? Israelites.
That's right, brother.
Nationality.
That's your praise.
Right.
Come your shot. That's right.
Whenever you follow Judah.
Judah.
All
Right,
all
brother.
praise. What's your nationality, brother? What's your nationality? Israelites. Right? God
right.
chose the people. All praise to Yahweh Shem
Hold on. How about some y'all son?
Right, so these brothers talking them, man. So you must come back to this Bible stuff. This Bible in the last days. Right, check it out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, and verse 12.
Right, this
Look it up.
is two, sister.
And it reads, and now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So what do y'all think the Lord requires about you?
You got 5 minutes for the
What do we have to do on the earth to get out of this? We're Israelites, man. According to the Bible. Well, let me ask you this. Wow, in this condition, what did we do wrong? 28 and 15.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15.
Look it up.
But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken
The word hearken means listen. So if we didn't listen, read on.
unto the voice of the Lord thy
We
God
didn't listen to the voice of the Lord our God, whose name is Yahweh. Read on.
to observe, to do all his commandments
Right?
and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
Bring it up. Bring it on.
that all these curses,
All these what?
all these curses
All these curses are bad things. Evil things happen. Read on.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city. Oh, sorry.
God.
Overtake thee.
Right?
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the
What
field.
are curses? Are curses good things or bad things? Right? So why are we in this condition?
All right.
Because we didn't listen. We didn't keep the commandments. That's why we in these conditions. Right? So now
Gotta take this off. It's still recording.
The only way to reverse this curse is to come back to these commandments that he gave us. Right? Okay? Not these commandments.
I'm listening to me.
Thou shalt not murder. Right? You got to kill the evil person. You can't kill someone that's innocent. Right? Out of self-defense. All right? So, right. What else is the commandments? And put y'all on the spot. That was a good one. All right. What about you, sister? You got some commandments? Right? Let's get a commandment for the sister. Deuteronomy 22 and 5.
I had to have sideways, man.
It says, what's your nationality?
It's not gonna do what's up. Oh.
Deuteronomy 22 and verse 5.
Right?
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a
The
man.
Bible say the woman shall not wear that which pertains to a man. What do you think that's talking about, sister?
So I can rotate this to
Say it again.
I said, I'm not sure.
Right? Well, it's talking about pants.
Right.
Because that's what pertains to a man in the Bible. All throughout the Bible, men wore pants, also known as breeches. I'm going to bring it out. Leviticus 16:4.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 16, and verse 4.
Right.
It reads, he shall put on the holy linen coat,
It say he shall put on the holy linen coat. Read on.
and he shall have the linen breeches
He shall have the
upon
what?
his flesh. And he shall have the linen breeches upon his flesh.
It say he shall have the linen breeches upon his flesh. I'm talking about women, it's talking about men. So men wore breeches in the Bible, right? Women didn't start wearing pants until the 1960s during the women liberation movement when they want to be equal to a man. That's when women started wearing pants, right? But prior to that, women was wearing dresses and skirts. Boxer skirts. And that's what you have to wear as a
I didn't start it over.
Right.
Deuteronomy 22,